Hey scrappers and recyclers, it's Shark Scrapper, and it looks like this PC was in a fire. Come on, we're going to dive in and see if it was just in the fire or if it caused the fire. All right, I can tell right away it did not cause the fire. Why can I tell that? Because there's no fire damage inside. We even have some weird growth. So no fire damage inside, fire damage outside, so it was just in the fire. But this looks like this is going to be an interesting PC nonetheless. So I'm thinking large socket motherboard. Come on, let's get in there. Look at that, there's the burned up floppy. Boot disk. Oh my God, that is so hilarious. Boot disk. Well, it's red hat, but if you looked at it quickly, it would say red hot, and it was in a fire. Okay, so much for Shark Scrapper's bad sense of humor. All right, now these hard drives are going to be the higher grade hard drive boards because they're coming off of a non-SATA or an IDE pin connector, so that's pretty cool. And I'm thinking that this the CD board is probably going to be pretty good too, because it's an older CD. Oh, I may need to take the other side panel off. So they have screws on both sides. That's the floppy. I'm not worried about the floppy. And the hard drives also have screws on both sides. There, we'll see. I may need to go back in there again. I'm trying to avoid taking the faceplate off if I can get away with it. CD, nice and heavy. CD drive. All right. And we'll get all this wire cut out of here. The power supply is just going to go back in, right? Because my yard is just buying power supplies as charade.
Not so fast, Sharky. You are going to break that power supply down and sell the low-grade board and wire and try to make a little more money from it. So don't throw that in the shred.
Such is life. Now this older ribbon wire, if you're really into gold, you may want to pull the ends off of this older ribbon wire because, let me show you here. If you're doing the gold recovery thing, you can let's see if the pins will come out. Nope, they don't want to. Ratzel fratzel. Now, the little pins in here are frequently gold plated. Fingernail clippers work really well for this. But there you can see there's just a tiny little bit of gold plating. These are not that good. Some of them have a whole lot of gold plating on there. These aren't worth the effort. Kind of surprised because usually the older ribbon wire has some pretty good gold plating on it. And this is definitely an older PC. Goldfinger card, and as we learned recently, the optimal thing to do now is pop off the heatsink and sell it the board sword with the brackets still on. That's actually how you make the most money for the Goldfinger cards. And if you want to see why that math works out, check out the video. It's either going to be linked up here or it'll be linked at the end of the video on the math that Geek Shark did so that I didn't have to waste my time taking these brackets off anymore. Goldfinger RAM. Alrighty, now get the rest of this wire out of here. And there's our hard drives. Here, ready. And here's our motherboard. Oh yeah, that's got large socket motherboard written all over it. But before we get there, older PC, these risers are almost always brass. You can see that other than the scorching, they are brass colored and they do not respond to the magnet, so those are brass. Normally I would use my Kaiweets, but I had loaded up the drill when I was doing a bunch of Goldfinger cards for Geek Shark, so it's still on here. All right, that shell is empty. Let's put the other panel on it, and then we're going to throw some shredder material into it. Shredditatable material. Set you here for right now. All right, the power supply is just shred now in my current arrangement until I can perhaps find another yard that maybe is still close enough to make it worth it. But anyway, for right now, that's shred. and let's get the motherboard in a minute. You can tell that these are nice, the kind of boards you want to take off the hard drives. It's not SATA, so that's a good price for board sword. Those are Phillips on that one, and Torx on that one. That screw is really in there. Ugh. Don't do that. Yeah, these screws are kind of locked in there. Now that's not uncommon with ferrous screws going into aluminum. And it probably didn't help that these were subjected to the heat of a fire. The rest of them are coming off pretty easy here, so I think we're going to be okay. Why am I doing that? I got a perfectly good container for these screws right here. All right, now then. There we go. That motherboard, that's CD. Bleh. Come on, Sharky, get it together. So there's a good hard drive board, non-SATA, or high quality. And what is your situation now? You are Torx. Oh, let's see. So now I got to reload you. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Ah. Are you? Yeah. There we are. Yeah. My Kaiweets battery is dead. Got to plug it in, charge it up. This older Kaiweets doesn't tell you how much juice you still have in it. The new Kaiweets will tell you when you press the power button. When you press any one of the buttons, it'll tell you how much energy you still have in it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch you over here for right now. There, we're going to plug you right in. There we go. We'll let that one charge up. And that shield off of there so we can get at the board. We'll check it. It's probably just, yeah, ferrous. And yeah, this new Kaiweets electric screwdriver is really good, especially if you repair computers. But it's still very useful even for those of us in the scrapping business. I have a link for it down in the description below. I do get a commission, so if you do buy one, thank you. And I think there's a discount code that's, well, I know there's a discount code and I think it's still good, still valid. All right, now let's take a look at this CD-ROM. Maybe this one will work. Really? Come on, guys. They're killing me here. They're killing me. Ooh, that is a nice CD-ROM board. Nice and big. Nice and big. Screws anywhere on here? Yes. With the older ones, you got to watch because they'll frequently have a couple of screws on them. And if they do and you don't notice it, you'll probably just break it. It's no big deal. It's not the end of the world. So you can see how the smoke got in there because the front was exposed to the smoke coming in. But that's a nice CD-ROM board. And no gold on you. Gold on you? Nope, no gold on you. Let's get this wire off of here. Now, in some places you can get 1, 2, 3 motors that you can sell to your yard. But my yard doesn't let me do that. So, boom, shred. Okay, let's see now. So excited. What kind of Ooh, AMD with metal. All right, so we have a ceramic AMD. Yeah. So it's a ceramic AMD with a metal plate on it. So that's pretty nice money there. Yeah. Got yicky on me. You out of the way. Real nice large socket motherboard, a US quarter will fit down inside of there with no trouble at all. While I finish cleaning up this heatsink, why don't you all go check out some more of these nasty PCs that I've had to take apart, because I've had a few in my lifetime.